evening, my fellow Tottenham fans, and welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boys Dave and Jack, bringing you your creators' predictions as Tottenham fans give us their thoughts and score predictions ahead of a massive London derby tomorrow night against West Ham, the bubbling enthusiasts, and I cannot wait. It is a London derby. There's a lot on the line. Jacko, how are you, my man?
Doing all right, Dave. Kind of recovering from the Easter weekend, going into a bubble blower derby here, and we're going to have to remember our goggles, and we're going to have to make sure to look out for all the West Ham fans with their soapy eyes after what hopefully could be a big Spurs win, because last time out against them, they kind of just caught us by surprise. I felt like we played quite well. Looked like we were going to be the eventual winners, but they caught us out, and they did punish us. Fair play to them. I don't like to show any sort of kind of credit to it, but they did kind of teach us a lesson. And so I hope that we return one to them this time, Dave, going into the bubble atmosphere.
No, look, it's going to be a huge game. Last time out was a sour. None of us enjoy being bet by West Ham. But look, it'd be interesting to see where the Spurs fans are at heading into this game. Are they confident off the back of the Luton game and the 3 points? Or are they nervous because we don't really know what Tottenham to expect? So let's get into it. Let's find out and hear what some of our fans have to say. And we are starting today with Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs.
Dave, hey Jack, it's Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs. You want my prediction ahead of West Ham United, the spammers against the mighty Tottenham Hotspur from N17. Well, this is going to be tricky because West Ham, it's their cup final, their biggest game of the season against their biggest rivals, even though they're a tin pot club. But it's going to be tricky. It is going to be tricky because they always turn it on against us no matter what. Home and away, they just find a way. And in the reverse fixture, they found a way. They were lucky. They robbed us, basically, of, anything out of that game. But I can see it being tricky. My head says draw, but my heart says I think we could nab something there. With a full-strength team, Mickey van der Ven hopefully back in the side, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Tottenham. Hopefully we can overcome that spammers.
Nice one, Sonny. I'm also in the 2-1 bracket, and I liked the bit of banter that he saved for them as well, Dave. Maybe he's like yourself, he doesn't have any love lost, with this West Ham side.
Yeah, certainly no love there for West Ham from Sonny. That's what I like to see. But look, he is right. It is going to be difficult. We've gone up there the last 3 times and haven't won. So the odds are against us. And hopefully we can defy all odds. Like Sonny, I do think it's going to be a sort of tight game. And hopefully we come out on the right side. So love that from Sonny there. No love lost between him and West Ham. But let's keep it moving. Let's hear what Mr. Box Office has to say. Of course, made a brilliant introduction of himself last week here. Let's see how he is this week.
What did he say last time, Dave? My guiltiest pleasure, whatever it
Your
was.
guilty pleasure and my nightmare.
Get up to the box office, see what he has to say.
Yo, it's Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV. Give my prediction against West Ham tomorrow at the London Stadium. And my prediction is West Ham winning 2-1. And the reason for that, we might have a great defence, but we're vulnerable at set pieces and crosses. And West Ham are going to gobble it up all day long with Sirchek and Paqueta, who's a fantastic creator, better than what I'm seeing with Maddison at the moment. And then Tottenham's front three, absolutely useless other than Son. I've got no confidence in them scoring goals, and that's the problem. And that's all I can say, and that's it. So, truth hurts, coming from the courtesy of Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer. And if you don't know, get to know.
Big up to Alex. Dave, I must say, the truth does hurt. When Alex delivers the truth, it doesn't hurt as much. I kind of like hearing the truth from him, out of most people kind of in life. But do you agree with anything he had to say? Any of his hard truths there? Lucas Paquetá, of course, a big threat, and he seems to think we'll lose from the set pieces.
Oh, look, the truth definitely does hurt from Alex. I mean, one thing I'll give him, he's spot on, Jack, when it comes to West Ham's, threat from set pieces. It is something we're going to have to look out for. They will look to put it in at the 6-yard box and send the big boys after it. I get what he's saying about the front line. The idea of selling Kane was that we wouldn't be so reliant on one man, but it turns out, for the majority of this season, we have been reliant on one man. So I get what he's saying about the forward line. However, hopefully Brendan Johnson, he'll probably start tomorrow night. Hopefully he can make that impact. And I do hope that Mr. Box Office, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, is wrong, Jack. We can call him the Professor of Lies and Entertainment if he is wrong after this game against West Ham. But nonetheless, I do love Alex, and a great prediction.
Great prediction as always from Mr. Box Office. But now we're going to move into Holly from Holly's Hotspurs, see what she has to say ahead of this clash.
Hello, Solly from Holly's Hotspurs, here to give my match preview for the game against West Ham. Again, I don't think any game's going to be easy, but we have to beat West Ham because we all hate them. For this one, I think it's good that we managed to beat Luton, puts us into good stead. I just hope that we start fast. For this one, I'm hoping Mickey van der Ven is slotted straight back in there. I think Dragosin did really well, but I think against West Ham, we need to make sure that we keep Boehm under wraps, because I think a lot of people kind of don't underestimate him. I think he is a decent player, and I think Mickey van der Ven will get the better of him if he starts. I also really want to see Johnson start. I know lots of people say that he's just an impact player, but I think Kulusevski the last couple of weeks hasn't really offered anything from the start. So I'd like to see the roles reversed, put Decky on the bench, start Johnson, and see if Decky can make the same sort of impact that Johnson can do when he is on the bench. That being said, it's a game we have to win. I still think it's going to be very close. Some of their fixtures have been very close, bar the Arsenal annihilation. So I'm going to say 3-2. I think we're going to start well this time, but we're still going to eat those goals. So come on, you Spurs, 3 points, please.
Nice one, Holly. Dave, she's hoping for 3 points, and she's, sound like maybe, it's a team that could catch us out by her prediction. What do you think?
Look, I think she's right when she says about Mickey van der Ven coming in to deal with Jared Bourne. I do think Jared Bourne is actually very underrated. He's a very tricky player, but not only that, he's strong as well. He definitely have the strength to be able to deal with the likes of Edoji and that. But for me, I think Van der Ven is crucial coming in, to deal with West Ham's threat in behind, whether it's Kudos, Bowen, or Mikel Antonio. He's been mopping up all season long, so I think it's crucial in that regard. And look, it's a big call with Johnson. I agree with her. I do think Johnson has to come in, but now it's up to him to show that he's not only an impact sub, that he can influence games from the start. I do agree with her as well, where she says she thinks it's going to be a tight game. I'm also of that opinion, but hopefully we're proven wrong in that aspect. But a lot there from Holly that I actually agree with. So big up, Holly. Really appreciate the prediction, and hopefully at the end of the season we might see Ledley King's face there as well. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
Oh, what a treat that would be. Big up to Holly, and love her predictions. And now we're going to go into Lee the Dorset Spur. I'm not sure if he's going to be traveling up to this game, so he might be watching this from the distance of his own home, and hopefully the bubbles won't have to, catch his way. He can just watch it with his own comfort. Dave, let's see what Lee the Dorset Spur has to say.
Hey everyone, Lee the Dorset Spur back with my prediction for tomorrow's game. Wow, they don't get any easier, do they? And this is going to be a bit of a tough run-in. Luckily, we got the 3 points on Saturday, which was much, much needed. Not a great performance, got to be honest. Well, they call this the West Ham's FA Cup final, but I think this is really a final for us because we really need to get the points here, because we're going into a really, really tough period. I think we've got enough, but I think it will be an entertaining game, and I think there will be some goals in it. But I'm hopeful that we can just squeeze past with an odd goal, but I think it's going to be high scoring. I think we're going to end up running out winners 3-2. West Ham are playing well. Bowen's scoring for fun. They had a really difficult result against Newcastle, but hopefully we give enough and we fight enough to turn these guys over and get marching on into this difficult period. So good luck to the boys. Keep subscribing to the channel and give these guys all the support that they can get.
Please, everybody, subscribe to Lee the Dorset Spur. Return the favor over to him. Love his predictions. Always send them in as well. And he's even send them in when he didn't even know what the result was, back in the times. That guy's an absolute trooper. And he's right, Dave. Each game has not been made easier with Spurs. These predictions are hard to make, and we really have asked a lot of these people to try to make sense of what Spurs might do in the next game. And he's gone for a 3-2, higher scoring than maybe others have gone for.
Look, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. It is such a tight turnaround, so you could either get a very tight game because everyone's leggy, or it could open it up because of everyone's leggy. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in that regard. But Lee is flipping the script here, Jack. He doesn't look too confident, and he's saying it's our cup final instead of West Ham. So I understand what he means by that. We've got a golden opportunity with Aston Villa playing Man City on the Wednesday night to sort of take command of that top four with a game in hand. So I understand what he's saying, but Lee, it'll always be West Ham's Champions Cup final. Make no mistake about that, my man.
Big up, Lee. And everybody do subscribe there and subscribe over here. Spurs Kings TV. Let's see what Marlon has to say. Love his predictions as well.
Dave, Jack, hope you're well. It's Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. My prediction for West Ham this week. After the last game, feeling a bit nervous about this one. So I'm going to go... Look, at the end of the day, Spurs have to stop Paqueta. If we can stop Paqueta, we can stop West Ham. Right, I know that's like with Kudos, Bowen and Antonio as well, it's going to be difficult, especially the way Moyes likes to set up. So I'm going for 1-1 this week. It's a quick one for me this week, but yeah, I'm going for 1-1. I think West Ham will score first, but I think David Moyes, if they didn't lose 4-3, I'd have probably gone for a win, but I think David Moyes will set up for 1-0, try and go for the win, and then we'll grab a goal late on. But yeah, go for 1-0.
Change of underpants there from Marlon, Jack. He's very, very nervous heading into this one. For those out there who maybe don't know, I know you're a big fan of him. Why has he highlighted Lucas Paqueta?
I just think of recent, he's kind of shown to have that, how do you put it? Like that number 10 sort of kind of magic ability. Yeah, je ne sais quoi is what I wanted to say, but I was really looking for maybe more of a German word to use in that situation, but or even, a bit of Spanish would have been nice as well. But Dave, really, and kind of with Lucas Paqueta, like he just has this kind of magic in his locker that you really do expect from number 10s, and I just don't know if you always see it nowadays. Like it feels like a lot of players are more complacent to just kind of make the easy pass, let someone else try to make more of a risk, and he just is that guy that will just play something out of nothing, and usually he gets his reward for it. He's just kind of has a lot in his locker. He's very good on the ball when it comes to taking it past his man as well. Physical player. I just really think he embodies a really good number 10. And I understand that some people might even see him as a sort of a different type of position. But when West Ham have played well, it's been mostly because he's been in that team. He's the source of creativity for me. And I wish Maddison were a bit more like him kind of recent, because even the recent pass that he played for Mikel Antonio, I just thought was ridiculous for their opening goal. And I wish I saw more of that from some of our midfielders like Maddison.
Controversial. Would you take Paqueta over Maddison?
I mean, he's gone now to the bubble blowers, Dave, so he's got all that bubble all over him. It's kind of hard to wash off, so probably not. Originally, we heard that, Spurs were interested in him. He's a Spurs fan, right? He had the kits of him, wearing Spurs kits back in the day. But no, Dave, of course, sticking with Maddison. And, it's just more of a temporary thing. And this is real recency bias that I'm also speaking with. So please take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt in this situation. I'm just saying of recent, Paqueta has looked more like a number 10 than Maddison probably has.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully Maddison can show up tomorrow night for the first time in a while and actually show the real number 10 inside him.
But we're going to move into, I believe this is Harry Scarf.
What is happening, people? Harry Scarf here from Scarfy Spurs. Well, thank you very much, firstly, Dave and Jack, for this opportunity. We come off the back of that 2-1 win against Luton, where I think we had made hard work of it. We got the result. That's all that matters. West Ham beating us twice if you include pre-season. And, they lost 4-3 to Newcastle, so I'd be very keen to put that right, to be energised. It means a lot to West Ham. We've clearly seen that, how much it does mean to them. So put a lot into it. I think it'll be really, really tough. Antonio always seems to score against West Ham, and they've got a lot of attacking threat, Kudus, Bowen, but I do think we can exploit them defensively. I'm sadly, and I do hope I'm wrong, going to go with 2-1 West Ham, which would mean we lose them the third time this season. So that'd be very, very frustrating, but I think West Ham just one of the teams who found out a way to play Ange ball, sit back behind the ball, and they have enough attacking threat to cause us problems. We see Wolves do that. Palace couldn't quite do it because they didn't have, for me, enough attacking threat on the day with Elise out and Eze not 100%. Maybe it would have been a different story with Zaha, who knows, but I'm going to go with 2 on West Ham, but I hope I'm wrong. But thank you again for this opportunity.
No, you're very welcome, Scarfy Spurs. Please, everybody, do check out Harry Scarf's channel. But Dave, I think he's gone for a bit of an Alex Davies approach. He's gone for a ratings killer, kind of a prediction there. He's gone for a truth bomb in that he feels like, it's not going to be so easy for Spurs and West Ham. Actually, on an individual level, he seemed to think that they will cause us problems. And he's also remembered very well, a fact that we actually lost to them during the preseason as well. So he's kept his records very straight there, Harry has.
And it was more or less saying pre-season as the fixture earlier on this season, we dominate possession, but yet they seem to catch us on the counter. It seems to be rinse and repeat. And he is right. David Moyes' ball is perfect antidote to Ange ball. It seems to be that way this season. Teams that sit back and hit us on the counter. And I get the nervousness, but him, Alex, and Marlon need to have a change of underwear there tomorrow night while I'm watching the game, because they're way too nervous heading into this game. Look, I do appreciate the honesty, but before game day, I like to live in delusion land, so you won't take me down out of that. But, you know, it could very easily go wrong tomorrow. I think we have to open ourselves up, and maybe, you know, I think many Spurs fans are sort of maybe along the same opinion that it is a very tricky fixture, you know, and it could easily go the other way. West Ham ain't going to roll over and die here. They are going to turn up like most people are predicting. It's just what Tottenham team turn up, I suppose, Jacko, and that's where maybe the nervousness comes in.
I'd recommend that they have a Dave Harris special before the game. A nice cold Coke on the rocks, you know, with with some nice.
That's important.
Yeah, that lemon is absolutely crucial, almost as important as the ice cubes, and maybe that will give them in the right sort of spirit before the game there. But we're gonna go into Tron, see what the Troninator, the Dermatron has to say ahead of this one. Prophetron, what will he predict?
Hopefully the sherbet's been confiscated this week. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hi, this is Dermatron from thfc Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Mr. Ange Postecoglou. And this is my match day prediction for West Ham versus Tottenham Hotspur on Tuesday evening. Look, 3 points is 3 points. That's the way I look at Saturday's game. It was a game of two halves. First half was dreadful. Second half was an improvement. My man Johnson again came on and changed the game. And I think he needs to start on Wednesday. I think we need to start with Johnson and Werner and have the pace down the wings to do what Ange wants us to do. We can do it with Kulu, and I think you either move Kulu inside, put him as a backup to Maddison, or he has to go, one or the other, because I think his time as a winger is over at Tottenham. But look, West Ham, it's their cup final. We don't give a shit about them. They're just Barney the dinosaur bubble-blowing idiots. So I'm going for a 4-0 win for Tottenham. We're going to put it to them, and we're going to burst all their bubbles. So come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Dave, it looks like the Guardi's about to pull him over there for that 4-0 prediction.
It looks like it, all right. I was going to say give him back the Sherbert after that Kulusevski prediction there, but with the 4-0 score prediction, it looks like he's already had it. But look, I don't mind if Brennan Johnson starts on Wednesday because the game's on Tuesday, so that'll be absolutely brilliant. But no, look, he has been a big believer in Johnson. Johnson did come off the bench and make an impact. But Dermo, what I want next week off you is to find out why Johnson struggles to start games or have the same impact on games when he starts as he does off the bench. But look, the kid will start on Tuesday night, and I expect a big performance from him. It's a real opportunity for him to nail down that right-hand spot with sort of 7-8 games to go. In terms of Kulusevski, I actually agree with him in moving him into the middle and maybe creating that competition for Maddison. I think that'll benefit both players between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely so. But I'm going to keep my faith in Kulusevski on the right, but will also accept that, right, he hasn't been what he needs to be. And maybe Dermatron needs a new nickname, the Johnson Interpreter, or the Johnson Expert. Johnsontron for the future. Big up to Dermot, and do appreciate your predictions, and do check out THFC Till I Die. Let's see what Jose has to say.
Morning, Dave and Jack, and everyone at the Irish Hotspur. Here's my prediction for Tottenham versus West Ham. Sorry, West Ham versus Tottenham, should I say, at the crappy stadium over there in East London on Tuesday evening. Well, we got the victory, we got the W yesterday, and West Ham took an L after being 3-1 up. West Ham had their first 11 out on yesterday, and so there's not much room for them to change players for the game coming up against us, whereby we, on the other hand, have got the ability to change some players for once. It's going to be a tight game. Well, I think it'll be a good game between two teams that will go at each other, but it's so difficult to predict what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. So for me, I think there'll be changes. I hope there'll be changes. Dave won't agree with me. It was clear on the pump-up show that I prefer to see Bentancur, Gio and Johnson start, and also Van der Ven now start against West Ham. And yeah, I like technical players and I like a bit of speed. I'm going to go for, really conservative guys, I'm going to go for a win, but I'm just going to go for 1-0 because all I want is the 3 points. 3 points, momentum, move on to the next game, which will be Forest. So yeah, I'm going to go 1-0. Guys, keep smashing the likes, keep subscribing, and become members of the Irish Hotspurs. Peace out. Take care.
Appreciate you, Jose. And everybody, go subscribe over to El Tel Cockerello. Show that man some love and some support. He really does deserve it. Dave, he's saying that you'll disagree with what he has to say on the midfield and whatever selections he does make. Where did you disagree? Where did you agree with him?
Lo Celso, look, when it comes to Bentancur, you can understand maybe off his appearance coming off the bench against Luton if he comes into that midfield slots in. But this Lo Celso loving is actually disgusting, and it has to stop. The guy made his 100th appearance off the bench against Luton Town, and he's been here 6 years. Even the Teletubbies had a better run than that, more consistency than that. So when it comes to Lo Celso, for me, I just don't understand. Look, I'm not one of them guys that's going to sit there and say, thank you very much for giving me a semi-decent performance after 5 years of being here and taking 80-odd grand a week in payments. Thank you very much for showing up for 5 minutes. Not that sort of guy, and I don't want to see him anywhere near the team. And for me, he's got to go in the summer. I think he sets a bad precedent around here, and he's of a culture and an era of gone by of players who used to come here and not have to be at their best week in, week out. So for me, I don't want to see Lo Celso anywhere near the team. Abuse me in the comments all you like. You'll thank me one day.
I think you're being quite harsh to the Teletubbies, actually, not being very harsh to Gio Lo Celso. The Teletubbies had a terrific run, and they had, terrific signs of consistency as well, Dave. At least from my memory, felt like they were on every day. That's how good they were. They're performing week in, week out. But great prediction from Jose. He's gone for a 1-0. Not surprised by that one. A lot of people seem to be going for low-scoring predictions. Dave and I gave our score predictions exclusive to all the members of this lovely channel. But Dave, any final thoughts before this game, before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, look, if you want the West Ham away kit, make sure you just look at Michael Phelps, see what he wears when he's diving into the Olympic swimming pool. There's a lot of loose bubbles that would be blowing around there. Swim hat, goggles, swim trunks, the whole lot. Make sure you get ready. I would suggest bringing a towel as well. You might get some suds in your eyes, or maybe tears of joy when we beat them at their place. I absolutely cannot wait for it, Jack. We're going to turn them from the irons into iron gates. They're going to be that static by the time we're finished with them. I cannot wait. It's a London derby. And the hate is mutual. Let's go. Hopefully we get the 3 points on the board, Jack. Anything you want to say?
No, everybody remember your goggles. That's what I would say if you're headed into the game. If you're not, lucky you. You get to watch it from comfort of your own home or comfort of maybe the nice Spurs pub. Everybody, let's grab another 3 points here. Keep pushing for the top 4 and finish on a strong note like Ange Postecoglou wants us to. Smash that like button. Do check out all of the other creators. Do check out their channels and show them some love and some support. But we'll leave you there, everybody. Come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange we trust, and we never stop.